Hello everyone, welcome day 5 for AACT Certified Tester free training. So couple of questions before we get started. Did you all receive the email from my team about the videos I wanted or requested you to watch, please? It was not sent through Interact. It was sent directly to you. But it was sent more like yesterday late, so I'm sure not everyone would have got a chance to watch. Did you get that email, team? Can you hear me, team? For some reason, I'm not getting a quick response on the Q&A. All right, so you've got it. Good. So I don't think anyone is left without getting. Someone's already taken that initiative and watched them from YouTube. That's brilliant job. Aruna, great job. Thank you, Nitin. Can you please briefly explain what was other video? So there were two videos that were sent to you, team, yesterday. The first one was more of element identification and how does it work. All right. That's something that you need to master. So element identification is more for Selenium. On the same way, you have something called as object identification in HP UFT / QTP, the earlier name. And it's also got to do something with descriptive programming in HP UFT. All right. If any of you have got this junk email going to your junk folder, just add the learn@itlearn.com to your contact list. It will not read junk. What was the second email? Second email was all about automation frameworks. What are they? Why are they important? How do we work with it? All right. So these were the two videos to watch. Even if you have not watched them, please go back and watch, team. You'll get a great idea. What I will be doing is I will be touching upon them, giving you a decent idea about what is happening. All right. It should be sufficient for you, but then to go advanced, you need to really go into them. We have only sent this one. This, I don't think we sent in video. There's nothing free on UFT, I believe, for this. There was one email with both the videos. All right. So when it comes to element identification, I told even in the previous class that there are a few things that you need to know. You can identify element by using ID, name, XPath, CSS, link text, partial link text. What else am I missing? Class, yes, thank you. Title, no, title is actually more for the browser. But within the browser actually it's for the web page. Within the web page, for these, what do we use? Okay, so these are the primary ways, team. So today we're going to master this, and then we'll see what next from there. This is one of the most important things, and the point to note for you, team, you cannot be a good or certified AACT rather AAC tester without element identification. Okay, this is very critical. Now let's go back to our Firefox. Take any application that we want. Okay, here's the screen for Firefox right now. HTML tag also no, Anjuman, because it will be too generic. And we have the Selenium Ide. Guys, I'm getting a lot of questions which are not relevant to the session. I did not get day 4 session. I'm not going to spoon feed you. You go and figure out where the day 4 session is. Did everyone else get the day 4 session? Could you go and watch that? The one we did on Friday? So please be involved, team. And it is your dedication which will come to how you can get certified and really go beyond. I'm actually drafting this entire scoring methodology, and I thought I'll do it along with you. So you'll understand the reasoning also behind it. You have to understand why is this important? How can you really benefit from it? This certification is not a very something as a pleasure for me from a sadistic perspective. I would love to make everyone certified, but you have to be eligible for it in the right way. End of the day, are you someone who knows AnyAuth as an application very well and how to go from manual to automation using this or not? That's what comes up. Okay. So we did record last time a few steps. Remember all of you? Now I'm going to record one more thing, team, and I'll tell you how it's going to work. The same thing, let's record, forgot password. And I'll teach you element identification with it right now. Very important session, just stay focused on this. So click the record, make sure it's recording, and we'll click on forgot password. I'm going to enter some random email here, and I'll click recover password. I get this text, I'll right click quickly and say verify text before this disappears. It comes only for a brief second. So the only difference I did, team, I still did a record of this, and this is one test case. It is one test case, team. I can right click on it, go to properties and say interact. Oops, let's go titled interact underscore tc. No, forgot password underscore tc001. All right. This is the name I'm giving to this test case. Now let's run it a little bit more slowly. The same thing. All right. So what did we do? We asked Selenium Ide to learn a few steps, and it is executing the same on the application or browser. That is what it is doing. Yes, everyone? It's a great student. It's trying to learn. Look at what you're doing, learn from that, and repeat the same here. Now, if you can master this communication between Selenium and the browser, that is when you become a great automation test engineer. So to master this, you should have answers, lot of questions and answers. So is this test executed, yes or not? How do you know if this test case got executed? One, it shows run is 1, 0 failures, and you can see everything in green. Why is everything in green? And is that everything in total same shade of green? Or is there a different shade? So what? So why is it the last one is the darker green shade? Think about it and let me know quickly. Okay. So maybe it's an error message, right? Right. So we have light green and we have darker green. Okay. So how do I make this test fail? Give me an idea. I want this test to fail, team. Okay, this email doesn't exist is there, right? Command is verify that a text is there. What do I want to do? I want to verify that a text is present. Where should it be present? This is the identification, which is the element identification. What is the value of it? Email doesn't exist. Okay, so this is the step. As a user of this Selenium IDE, you always have an option to go and change anything you want out here. What if I change this from doesn't exist to does exist? Or I write anything there and rerun this. This is the inquisitiveness that you have to play around with Selenium IDE for hours together. That will make you a much more successful automation engineer. Now, the whole thing is showing red. One run, one failure. And if you go to log, it will tell you exactly what happened. You can clear the one before, click on clear and rerun this. And again, our goal is not to become an expert in Selenium IDE, but to use this opportunity to learn more about AACT. It's a stepping stone. So it says playing test case, blah, blah, blah. Open app, click and wait, type this email address, again click and wait, verify text, actual value, email doesn't exist, did not match, email does exist. Such amazing spoon feeding. So clearly they're saying why it failed. And this is marked in red. So if a step fails, what does a step failure mean? The whole flow is expecting something, something else is happening. So the test case failed overall. Only one area. Now, if I go to type here and I say user underscore forgot to, just something, I changed it. And now I rerun this. What will happen, team? Hey, why is it not running further? Where is it stopped? Is it doing still or is it slow or is it completed? It's completed. See, run. Let's try again. Runs is 0. As soon as it's done, it should tell me exactly what happened. It's not going beyond this type that I deliberately made it fail. Why? Because if it cannot type something here, it believes there's no point in going and clicking and performing the next steps. There's no continuation. So it stops the execution. So it's critical error. Alright. So wherever it finds an error, Selenium IDE will stop. Okay. So we have the open, click and wait, type, click and wait, verify text. So let's look at the command ones, target ones, value ones. But before that, let us change this back to a working model and talk about the dark colors and the green colors. Is this correct? Dark green and light green. And then we have red. Still doesn't, I think is N and then hyphen T. Correct? I think this is the one. I misspelled it. Whose error was it, team? Human error, correct? You won't believe there's so much to learn out here that it takes effort, dedication, patience. And this is like, what I'm covering is like 10% of automation team. Truly 10%. It's at the very beginning. So this is executed, all green, no failures. You can go to log and check everything that's happened. And we have light green and dark green. The primary difference, this says a step is done. It executed a step. Dark green means you're trying to verify something and that verification is a pass. Red means what? It failed. And this is at a test step level. So back to basics. Every test case is built on multiple steps. And unless every step passes, the test case is considered either a pass or a fail. Alright, that is the interpretation from Selenium IDE. Now let's understand the command, target and value a little bit more deeply. Command is nothing but what we want to do, and if you click here you will find a series of commands. Wow, so many of them, right? So tell me one thing, team. If you need to be a great automation tester, should you master all of these commands? Yes or no? Alright, the answer is no, team. You don't have to. Okay. Now, let me ask you the same question differently. If you want to be a great Selenium automation engineer, should you be aware of what commands are there and what they may be able to do? Yes, absolutely yes. You should at least be aware of them and know the fact. Wait for text or wait for table. For a very simple example, what is the difference between click and wait and click? How do they differ? Subtle differences. That is what you need to really be aware of. And out here, you can go to any command and click on reference and you'll see the exact documentation for it. This is the more of the English definition, and you will be able to go change this anytime and figure it out what is the difference between each of them. So that is where your inquisitiveness comes, to play around with it and enjoy this new tool, a new toy that's come to you. This is one test case that way. You can create multiple test cases. Sorry about that, team. Because in these trainings, right, I put my voice to a very strenuous level. It goes very high pitched. If I speak slow and dull, you'll sleep. You'll not even care about doing the session. People will just walk away or start watching Netflix. That's why I need to be really stressful on this. Now your duty is to go and play around with any application. All right. These applications will give you something great. Let's say before I click on or verify text here, I want to insert one more step. I'll just say insert new command and I want to verify if this text is coming. How do I do that, team? Just right click and say this different commands. So if you have Firebug ready and installed with your browser Firefox, and you click on show all available commands for that specific element, it will show you, because you right clicked on that, what all you can do. So here I want to verify if that text is present or not, and I also want to verify the title of this application. So I can click anywhere and say show all available commands. I'll say verify title. That's it. Now we run this again. See, same thing how many times I'm running. It is all to play around and ensure everything is working correctly. Alright. Now you see, team. So 4 steps light green, 3 steps dark green. Alright. What format did Selenium Ide record this? Okay. What format is it in? Selenium is actually Yamini is a good term, but it was very old. It's like little ancient and it died down. It's Selenium is more like the concept behind it, not the format. So if I save this, right? I saved this, save test case. I can save it anywhere I want. Document, no, desktop, AACT 7 hours. I'll just say cell IDE underscore TC001, whatever name. But let's go and see what format is this. What format is it now, team? It's a HTML format, exactly. Let's open this. What will happen if I double click this now? What do you think it will happen? What will it do if I double click? And the reason I'm asking question and waiting for a few seconds is because I'm trying to look at the answers. Yes, it opens a browser. Perfect. And what will it show me? I thought someone will say it'll run the test. All right. Now, do you remember the test cases that we were writing earlier? Yes, everyone? And in the test cases that we were writing, I told you clearly that if I send this test case to someone, even a 10-year-old kid, they should be able to try and understand and replicate it. That is how, um, user-friendly it should be. So this is doing almost the same thing, and this is doing also the same thing, where here it says the name of the test case, open app, click and wait, this and this and this and so on. Are you seeing something missing? If I send you this team, just this information, can you do the same? Why can't you? Pass fail is a result that's coming after you execute. But at least you'll be able to execute, right? It's not that confusing, team. Just 3 columns. Command, target, value. What, where, and any additional info. Why can't you do that? It is clear steps. Alright, remember this, team. It's not a trick question. If a automation tool is doing it, it needs absolutely clear steps. There is no question or dilemma in it. If it is there, it cannot. It should make sense. Only for 2 reasons, team. One is, and this is so critical, this is where the basics we don't know, right? Learning any tool is going to be very tough. That's where my whole emphasis is being. Alright, automation tool. Alright, and there is a human. Okay, so how can we both communicate? What is the language that you can talk in team? You can talk in English. An automation tool also will try and talk in its own English, but there is some amount of a barrier here. Here it is a command, target, value. Here we need to understand this and know exactly what it is. Then you and the automation tool can talk well and you can become world's best automation engineer. That is what can happen. Now, the reason I'm going very slow, team, is this is the most critical session of all the sessions that you've seen so far. That's the reason I'm going very slow. There's one thing that's missing, team, in here. And I got a few of you answering that. Where is the URL? Where is it? Web page? Oh, it's come here, sorry. Where is the URL for the application? Anywhere in here it shows? So if it doesn't have, how will it go to intrav.com? It is there out here in base URL. So it's saying this is the base URL, the main URL, and the target that it needs to get to is a subfolder. And these small things will open your eyes for everything going forward. Because there's one fundamental question, team. Are you trying to be an awesome automation engineer, or are you trying to be a Java developer out here? What are you trying to be? Automation engineer and not Java developer? It's not your reason for being here, correct? So you need to only learn the right things that are essential for this. And that's where your focus should be. So here it is saying base URL is this, and you go to intrav.com/app. Looking at the base URL, it will add this there. How is it not here then? Market does not expect both, Anjuman. Market is confused. They are trying to take away the junk from resumes and screen people, and they're trying to see who is genuinely a Selenium developer, not a Java developer. It is totally different. All right. Market is trying to just screen away junk. Who is true and who is not. And believe me, it will take me exactly 2 minutes to know if the interview that I'm doing is the candidate genuine or not. I don't need more than that. Absolutely not. How do we know then where is the URL here? Right click, view page source, and go here. There's somewhere here. See selenium.base, intrav.coms. It's there. In the code it is there. So that means if I send you this HTML file, you can execute it directly. Even your Selenium Ide will understand. Now you have to understand as well. Okay, so we'll talk about element identification. Before that, what is this? All this text that you see, what is it called? It's the HTML code. It's a HTML code team. So you change anything here, the look and feel out here will change. So what is the tool that we installed in the previous session that will make our work with HTML code easier? Understanding, changing a few things. Firebug. I never spoke about Eclipse so far at all. Anywhere, if you look at it. I didn't use that word. There's no point in expecting me to ask my son to go for marathon if he does not know how to walk yet. Correct? So this is why you need to focus, because there's a lot to learn. This is just the beginning, team. It is your Firebug. How do we work with Firebug? Right click and say inspect element with Firebug. Give me exactly the answer, team. What does inspect element with Firebug do? Yes, it opens up one section of the frame of the window. What else does it do? It shows the HTML code overall. So this is where unlearning is important, team. Forget everything else you know. Forget it, totally lose it. Come with a blank mind. Only remember what I have been teaching you. Did I go inside and talk to you about each of them? Not yet, right? It will go and highlight the code that belongs to that specific element. Everything that you see in the website is an element. It's a web-based, that web page-based element. This is an image. This is a text. This is a text, and it's also an edit field. This is a button maybe, and so on. So for like I told, right, to tell a robot that go into my car and get something from it, it needs to know exactly where is what. The minute you change something, if forgot password comes here, email goes up, if this is missing, it should not fail. It should be absolutely idiot proof. All right. It will highlight exactly that code. Now copy this code and put it into a notepad. So this is HTML. Now, how does a HTML code look? HTML code has HTML tags and content. That's it. Tags is the main thing. HTML tags start with and ends with greater than symbol. Am I trying to make you a web developer? No. I'm trying to tell you the simple information of what you need to really understand and become a great Selenium developer. Selenium developer is what I'm taking it all to do. Okay. Now, so the first word that comes after the less than symbol is the HTML tag. It tells the type of element. Okay, so this is a code, entire HTML for one of the elements. This is the complete code team. In this code, what is the HTML tag? What is the HTML tag team? I had some notes written down, but I wanted to do the core subject first and then do that. So I'll just say this as notes. What is the HTML tag? What is the first word that repeats? Is it input ID? Is that the first word? So do words in English have a space? Do words in English have a space? How do you differentiate between one word after the other in English? With a space, with a period, or a comma, punctuation? So what is the HTML tag here? Input. There is no two answers team. It is not input with uppercase, with this in front or that in back. Nothing. There's only one correct answer to my questions right now. Okay. Now, great. Good job. Let's see the same for another one. I'll right click on this logo. Go to inspect element with Firebug. I will copy everything here and don't be in a hurry. Don't answer me already. I'm sure people will start answering, but now what is the HTML tag for this? Oops. Sorry, my mistake. What happened here? Something came up. My mistake, team. You're right. I made a mistake. So let me try and copy this again. I copied the same old copy paste happened. Now what is the HTML tag team? IMG. Perfect. What is IMG? What does it stand for? Image. Perfect. Great. So it is representation that HTML will say that dear browser, image is here. The source of that image is here. This is the whole path for that image. And alt is basically, if I take my mouse over it, what will it show? What should the width be? What should the height be? So each of this description of the HTML element are called as attributes. All right. And so every attribute will look like attribute name equals attribute value. Sorry team, I don't have any more shorter way to explain than this. This is the shortest that I could do. But it has to be some things that may not sink into you immediately. You may have to practice and repeat what I am doing. That is your homework. Same thing. Repeat the video and try on your side. If I were you, I will go to everything and see. Right click this recover password, inspect element with Firebug. See what is this? Same thing. I will start again. What is the HTML tag? Button. Okay, it has a class. What does class do? Does not matter yet. You don't have to worry too much. But I'll tell you theoretical answer. You can try and remember that just in case. It says how the look and feel should be. Should the class, this background be blue or red? Should the text be white? How do I know this specific class? I can go here. 1 second, team. So this specific Firebug. So if you look at it, team, I'm not going one by one and telling you everything about it. I'm trying to teach you from a concept perspective. Again, you're not trying to master Firebug, just some certain concepts in it. So the class is nothing but the way the designers, sorry guys, 1 second. Sorry, there were my kids trying to play in the backyard. Had to really let them a little hard that please don't disturb me. Class is going on. Okay. Now if I click on something called CSS, what is CSS, team? Can someone tell me? I like incorrect answers, teams, because there's at least an attempt for it. Someone said change style sheet, and I'll not take the name. That's the beauty of an online courses. Someone said comma separated. Actually, CAMA. It's called cascading style sheet. There's the reason why they said cascading style sheet. Because I can start with one, and I can have a sub thing within it, and I can have another sub thing within it, and so on. And this, if you master, team, you can become a great web developer, UI developer, and so on. Okay, so it's cascading is like waterfall, your agile methodology. Style sheet is how should the style be, the look and feel, the style of IT going professional, the style of someone who's playing a sports, the style of someone who's attending the Oscars. That's a style. Similarly, how the look and feel should be. So everything about that will be in the CSS team. So for this specific one, the style is here. It'll tell about everything about the style, but look at so much of content for one small thing. Somewhere there'll be the color also. Actual blue color will be visible for me. I can go and change. Where is it? I don't know why I can't see it. Background color. Oh, this is orange. So this is cascaded. Something has taken over that. So I can go and change anything I want here. It'll show up on the website. Saying, you know, when you take your mouse over, it'll change. Look, all this is there. And Selenium is amazing to capture all this information and to test. This is not right. This is not right. This is where Firebug becomes a beautiful development tool, web developer's friend. We've still not started element identification, just the basics on it. So this is cascading style sheet, team. And that's where it says class means submit. Whatever submit is there, it'll have the same thing everywhere. So in a very simple manner, if I take this, right, copy this, and I put one more line here. I can't edit it. Click on edit and put one more line here. It'll show one more button. But if I want it to come to a new line, I use a break here or a few of them to manually break and come to the next lines. All right. And if I change this class, if I remove the class, this is how by default it will look if no class is applied, because it's cascading. So this one class is there, right? whatever is there, is overruling what was there earlier. So earlier this was the class like this, it used to look, but since I wrote class equals submit, it is changing like this. Alright. I'll come to your questions, team. Just hold on. Because anything that is main core importance, I'm not trying to give you a brief. I'm trying to give you a detailed overview. Anything that is not that essential, I'm just letting you know what it is. So this is the most critical thing, team. This is called element attributes and values. So anywhere you see in the HTML tag where something equals something in quotes is basically this attribute name equals attribute value. So for this specific one, right, what is the attribute name and attribute value? Can you tell me, team? Source and then value is this whole thing. Then we have another one called alt. Let me reduce the size a little bit. Alt and the value is logo. And then we have width. The value is 298. Then we have height. Value is 98. This basically attribute names and values describe or give an element a life or shape. How many of you know what is object oriented? What is OOPS, team? And you don't know, absolutely I don't care. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to test you on that. But what is OOPS in a programming philosophy? Not the one where we make a blunder and say, oops, something happened. Object oriented programming. What is S then? No one finished S script. I think it's system, team, if I'm not wrong. And I don't care if I'm right or not on this. I know the concept. That's for me, that's most important. All right. Now, do you know that I'm teaching you OOPS right now? Did any one of you realize that? Okay. I'm teaching you OOPS, team. Everything. What is OOPS, team? One, programming language is like real life. Everything in life are objects. Objects can do or perform a method / action. Objects have properties. Some of these properties are used to identify and others are used to recognize or visualize / further describe. This is OOPS, team. That's it. There's nothing more. Then there's something called as a parent and child. This should be the easiest thing for us to understand. What does this mean, team? Let's talk about an object. Which object? Give me an example. I'll take it from the crowd. Let's talk about any object. Car, pen, chair, bike, car, animals, car, human, house, table. Wow, if you say table, it's very tough. Now you'll take something more reasonably easy for us to understand than something like table. Okay, posh. Okay, pen, job, TV, book, human. Okay, PC. So I think car makes sense. We can now all relate to it. First, we'll do it the easy way. car is an object. So it has some actions that it can perform or methods. This is the what again. See how everything is falling in. Then there is identification for it or properties. That is the where portion. And then it has more descriptions or what QTP said or UFT said as descriptive properties or descriptive programming, which was like a rocket science for all of us before we actually know the truth behind it. And this is more like additional info to describe it. Now, what can a car do? You can drive, park, turn, what else can you do? Forward, backward, stop, of course, so critical. And so many things, right? You can then do so many other things with the car. Sleep, hit another car. Yes, so you can do all of this. Honk, accelerate. Yes, so these are the activities you can perform on it. Okay. Now, how do you identify a car? Depends on who is identifying. It is the color, make, model, year of manufacturing, and so on. But what if the cops want to identify? What will they ask you for? The license plate number and VIN number. And VIN is not WIN, it is VIN, which is actually vehicle identification number. Be curious, team, always. Why is it called VIN? And that's fine. I'm not taking names. It's just either a mistake or we're not thinking. I'm trying to open your view, team. So these are the identifications. Okay. So there's descriptions, identifications. These both are actually same, team. So for basically every car or every object has actions or method and identification or properties, just properties to describe the touch and feel. Now, what is a sedan and what is a coupe? And if you don't know, I want an answer. No, don't know. If you know it, tell me exactly what it is. I love an answer called don't know, team, because that will open up for you to learn. Okay, very simple. Sedan is a car. It has 4 doors. I'm not talking about back door, trunk, and so on. Coupe is a car. It has 2 doors. So what does that mean? The parent class is a car. The child class will take everything from the parent and decides to change, edit, delete, modify something. That is called a parent class and a child class. So basically, yes, what we also call as inheritance in Java. Now, where did we start and where are we going? I spoke about object-oriented programming system, that someone said programming is like real life. Everything in life are objects. Objects can do or perform a method or action. Objects have properties. Some of them can be used to identify, others to visualize or further describe it. Then there's a parent and child concept. Do I know this standard? In next class, right? I will write the same thing differently. Because it's not theory for me. It's a concept that's got embedded by the right learning. Okay. So then I told you car, what will happen, what they can do, how the properties are. So here is a car is the parent and sedan and coupe are 2 variations of it. This whole concept is called inheritance. Why did I tell you this? It is the same for element identification. So to identify an element, we use attribute names and values. All right. So now let's look at this. Inspect element for this email. Okay. Where are we? HTML code here, right? Example. This is the one. First thing, always think about HTML tag. It is input in this case, correct? Now, ID equals user underscore forgot. Copy this. Get your browser to one side. Get your ID to the other side. Go create a new test case. That's fine if it's untitled. Click on command. What do you want to do on this page? What will you do here? What will we do here, team? The whole audience is silent. I hope it's either interesting or you're getting lost. I'm trying to keep it very simple. There's no reading between lines, team, in my classes. What I say is what it is. Okay? Never try and assume anything more. That's why you need to unlearn whatever. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure here. So what is this? It's a field, right? What will we do here? I don't know. Fair enough. Click record and type something, blah, blah, blah. It'll come up. Oh, type is the command. Two ways you can learn. Either see what I'm doing sometimes and learn. Third, experiment and learn. Simple. There's never a complicated. Am I giving you fish? No, I'm teaching you fishing. Bad word for vegans, but I'm just saying. Now see, okay, it already got it. Target, right? Whatever I wrote there, copy that here, team. ID equals user underscore forgot and say find. Do you notice something happening on your screen in GoToMeeting? Highlighting, right? It's saying it, recognizing that. So if I misspell this, delete something, this is where a kid can be a great learner and say find. Now what is it doing? It's not blinking, it's not doing anything, but go to log and see. Best clear this log. Start a fresh one. See. ID equals user underscore forgot is not found. Or if I write forgot and say find, it'll find this. So ID is one way to identify elements. Now don't get into the complexities of what if more than one element have the same ID, what will happen then? That is the next level team. Dynamic applications and so on, what you do is next level. Now in the same thing, do you see name equals email underscore forgot? How about this? Get both your browsers on one after the other and say find. Oops, not found. I thought it will work. Why do you think it's not working? Is it because type? Command should not matter. To identify, it does not matter what it does. I just need to know where is it. Spelling mistake. I copied it straight. Good question. Maybe spelling mistake. Right click, inspect element with Firebug. Go to that code. It's highlighted somewhere here. It is email underscore forgot. Yeah. What is the difference between the first one and the next one? Two buttons with same name. Then what Selenium Ide will do is it will identify the first one. It will not fail. Wow. If you are a QA engineer team, your eye and attention for detail has to be absolutely brilliant. If it is not, I will make it. What is the difference between this line and this line? This one and this one. Error, error, locator, locator, not, found, found, colon colon ID name. Oh, ID is different, name is different. Maybe, okay. Equals equals user underscore fog, double quotes, email underscore forgot. And double quotes is not COATST, it is QUOTES. That is where you become a good QA engineer. Do you see how much of difference is there? I don't know if it works, but I'm just trying to see what is the difference. And say find. Did it find now? You should have an eagle eye. Eagle eye. It should go automatically there, team. So this is the other way. Name. If you see a name or ID, just put it like that. Or if there is a link. Is there a link here anywhere in this page that you see? Again, I'll tell you, are you a good QA engineer? I'm not trying to be mean at you, team. Please understand this. I'm just trying to shock you so you recognize and see things. Is there a link in this page in the current view? You see this interact pre-beta could be a link. Why? Every text is one color. This seems to be a different color. Maybe that is why. Copyright does not seem to be in the same. Something could be a link. Even this is a link. Alright. Right click. Inspect element with Firebug. I got this. Now, oops, come on. Control C. Okay. Now, is there an ID or name attribute here? Then what do we do? What if I say link equals atomic 77? Whatever is here in between this A and A. A is the one HTML tag used to identify any link team that you can click and go to a new page. And it's called as anchor tag or anchor text. This becomes the anchor text. Okay, simple concepts. You know what's the best way to learn HTML programming? Go to w3schools.com and learn it. Very simple. You can write the code and start learning it for yourself. As an IT professional, each of us need to know the basics of HTML team. Basics. You don't have to become a web developer, but you need to start there. Okay. Now let's see another element here. I'll put just the target. I don't care about command or value. Link. Hey, it works. See? There you go. Link equals atomic 77. Now, this is good when you have ID, name or a link text or partial link text. Those are the first methodologies for you to learn how to identify elements. ID, name, link text, partial link text. The other ones are a little bit more complex. Little bit. Class is also easy. Now, where is class equal submit? Somewhere we saw, na? Class equal form control. Another one we saw class equals submit is there. Yeah. So let's try this. Okay. One ID is there. And this is there. Another line. Class equals submit. Find. Why is it not finding? If it's not blinking anything here, just go to log and make sure if it's finding it. Why is it not finding team? Exactly. Remove the double quotes. It's not single quotes. It's not quotes. It's double quotes. Precise answer. Hopefully it will work. What happened? It is not showing any error here. At the same time, it is not blinking here also. Come on. It is navigating. Oh, it is actually. You won't believe there's only a very slight yellow line coming on recover password. It is coming, team. It's not that it's not coming. It is coming. But unfortunately, we're not able to view it very clearly. Okay. At least even I couldn't, but unless I paid attention. But since I saw no error coming here, clear, no error coming, that means it's working. All right. So class is the other way, team, to identify an element. Perfect. Now what will happen if I have same class for more than two elements possible, right? Then we go for the XPath and we go for the CSS. Let me take a break here, team, for a minute, because my team has been trying to ask me to show you some content that I think is important, and a lot of people have been asking for it even in this class. I'm going to quickly try and put it here and show you this. I'll come to the scoring methodology, don't worry too much about it. So quick break, team, deviation on the schedule of the upcoming training, so you're aware of what is happening and what is coming when. All right. So team, primarily JPACT is what? Our job placement and certified training. This is all about everything that you want to learn in the right way, with placements, mock interviews, resume help, technical interviews, HR interviews, and we help you get into the job boards or try and market you at our end, uh, get you into live projects, get you the real project experience through Atomic 77 and all that stuff. It's like our one mega program. All right. So this is actually starting from 22nd March. It says that it started on 27th Feb, but we're starting it from 22nd March as part of Selenium live training. So a new batch of JPACT members will join. JPACT 1 had about almost 45-50 people joining in. Now we will have it going into Selenium with this date. Okay, there are two streams in this team. I'll quickly explain. These are important because there will be a lot of questions that will come back. There is stream A. It will start with manual testing and it will go to the test management tools like Jira, Bugzilla, ILM, maybe ISTQB and so on, also database testing, UFT, mobile app testing, Selenium, AACT, and so on. Okay. This is for the beginners, whoever wants to go in a very foundation level training. This will last about 3 months. Then there's a stream B, a little bit more advanced. What it says is, let's start with the core, most important, like Selenium and AACT, which we believe will really catapult you to the next level. And then people can switch. You pay the same fee for both of them, but you can switch between A and B whenever you want, however you want. So this will be at a different time. This will be at a different time. Some people just do A because they have a lot of time and they want to do it in a very structured way. Some of the members just go for B to begin with because they would like to get into the market in about 1.5 months, and they go for this. All right. And some people do both because they have more time to invest. That is how it is. So each will be about an hour and a half a day. Both together will be about 3 hours a day of training. So it depends on your ability. If you're learning for 3 hours, definitely give yourself another 3 to 4 hours for practice. If you don't do that, then you're missing out. Okay. Now this specific batch with the Selenium, starting from the basics like this IDE and so on, is going from starting when, as soon as we finish the AACT certified tested training on 22nd. So 22nd of March is the first session, and then we have about a few days gap, and from 27th only for the premium members it will go on. It will cover all the concepts. Most will get covered in the live. There will be certain concepts which will be too much to handle and digest. like Ant or Maven or Selenium Grid and so on, which I will show you how to learn from the videos. Then you can apply it in the in your project work and get experience from it. So this is the one, and I'll come to the others very briefly. Then we have the AACT Certified Tester free live project, the one which we're doing. That will start from the 17th team. So as soon as we finish this training, we'll start with the live project. We have projects waiting to be tested, and we will guide you exactly how to do. This Manoj will be guiding you. I'll be there in the few initial sessions along with him. Sorry team, I don't know why, but all of a sudden I started getting cold and cough. I think it's a lot to do with the weather change out here. Then we're coming up with something very interesting, team, Selenium mock interview. So while me and Manoj were doing this technical screening interviews, and the people we've been working with, we know that technically so sound. But when it came to interview, there's certain questions and the way we answer, like what is inheritance? And without any discrimination, some stupid interviewer will ask these questions. They don't know exactly, but just because they have the right to ask questions, they'll ask and they know the definition. How do we answer it? How do we give it? If someone asks me what is inheritance, I'll speak for 10 minutes. I'll not say what is inheritance. I will go on about this is what happens. I'll tell the story. So my idea in an interview, if I go, is there should only be 5-6 questions and I should be the one speaking and there should be no question after that. Is Karthik selected or not? That's the same thing I want to pass. So we want to do a 1 week total mock interviews. We'll have set of questions every day, 5-6 questions, and we'll ask the audience to answer. We'll see who's answering best and we will give the right answer to it or advice. And that way I think there's a lot of team learning. This we want to give it free with JPACT and Selenium. JPACT batch 2 team. JPACT, the usual price is $2,500. A lot of members have joined us at this price. But we did, when we launched, at a 50% discount, it is $1,250. So please don't look at the price. But my team said, show it to the team members. They will know. Then we can talk about it. If it's just Selenium, it's about $500 team. For live, $450 for videos. If it's a live project, there's a little additional, and the total Selenium package will come to about $531 after discount. Then we have the AACT certified developer. This, while it says $99, I don't want this to charge on this. I want to keep it free for anyone who do the JPACT or Selenium training. It should be part of it. Live project also same thing. Manual testing, new batch, which is the stream I was saying, right, by Mahesh. That is starting on the 21st March. So there are a lot of trainings happening parallelly, team. You'll all have access to it. So that should not be a problem. All right. But then you need to know. Then there is a vocabulary, idioms and live training by Priya. I don't know why, but you all should really attend these sessions. It is absolutely brilliant the way she's handling this. Communication skills, personality development, English speaking, grammatical errors, email etiquettes, a lot of courses she's covering. With JPACT for $1,250, half of what you see here, everything in IT Learn is free. You don't have to pay anything more. JPACT is job placement and certified training. Okay, so certified tester actually. AACT that I'm doing now free was initially part of JPACT, but AACT that you're doing is like the tip of the iceberg. The real depth is very long. That is how you can become a good Selenium developer. So you have some of these coming up, and I would strongly recommend, if you're considering, then you should take a look. The team will send you an email, go through it. All right. Any questions regarding this? I will try and answer a few of them. Else, you'll have to take it offline. Let's see. A few questions I'm going to take, team, on this because a lot of relevance was shown. And then from a topics perspective, once we finish this, what we're doing today, element identification, I have to talk about XPath and CSS. Brilliant concept, how it comes up. XPath, I'll talk for 15 minutes. CSS, I want you to watch the video. It's very simple, how we identify. Once you do this, then you'll master element identification. And that means if you master element identification, we are left to go through ENIOT, understand frameworks, what are they, and then get to this. And the other note that I found, and I don't know why the team has not been working on it, is this one. Where is it? I've told you about the sheet, right? Interrupt, defects, and so on. How come no one is filling this sheet? Emails, you're all writing defects. After so much of counseling and teaching, none of you are filling this sheet here. Why? Team? Haven't I given this access? I made it public also for all of you. Okay. So these are the important ones that I have. I have a couple of questions, team, I want to ask in polls, one or two before I finish time, and then I'll come to your specific questions. So my questions I'm starting with, and then to you. Okay, so this just came up. It's more of a technical question, but I think it's important. Look at this question on your screen and tell me what is a high-level plan. Bad English. It's not what is high-level plan. It's what is a high-level plan. Only two answers. It's an overview or a very detailed plan. Team, everyone take a second and answer this, please. There's two options. It's not a trick question. It's a very straight question. Don't answer in the chat. Click on the option on your screen. That's what a poll is for. Not in the chat, on the screen. I'm closing it in the next 5 seconds, team. I've just got about 75% votes so far. All right. Close. Now, before I share, what do you think? There's only one correct answer, correct? There's no two answers to it. Only one is right. Do you think everyone answered correctly? Can you see the ones who didn't answer? And this is the reason I asked. Because I know that these fundamentals are somehow not being honestly learned. 62% saying just an overview, 38% of you saying very detailed plan. The right answer is the first 62% team. It's just an overview. It is why high means looking at it from the aircraft down to the earth and seeing what you can. But if you, that is giving you an overall perspective. But once you get down, then you get to a detail level. High level plan is always at a very, very high level, never detailed. All right. Another question. Now let's see what you will answer for this. What is a low level plan? You can all see it on the screen. Again, do not answer on the chat. Kindly put it on the poll that's coming in front of you. Okay, 5 seconds team, I'll close this. So we have a few more things to cover before I end the session. Okay, you've got about 85% votes in. I'm closing this. Now what do you think, team? Now tell me, what do you think is the response from the audience? Do you think most of us will answer it correctly? Yes? Right. You'll be amazed and surprised. And luckily with the online audience, we don't need to share names, team. It can still be very kind for beginner level learners. 76% of you agreed it's a detailed plan, and 24% of you, despite what I explained in the previous one, still feel it's a non-detailed plan. And there's nothing to laugh at about it, team. The toughest learning that we find is these shortcuts that come on us and everything will change from there. I really want you to understand the concepts in a very detailed manner and try and work on them one after the other. All right. The world is very competitive, and that is the reason I said instructions. How do we go about following instructions? What is the right answer for this? It is a detailed plan. High level is non-detailed, not very detailed. Low level is digging deep. That's a detailed plan of anything, be it a test plan, be it a development plan, be it a house building plan. So first, the architect builds a high level plan, and then it goes down to small details. That becomes low level. All right. So, and please team, again, it's never to criticize or demotivate anyone, but very important to know, are we right or wrong? If you never know that we are right or wrong, we can never improve. All right. One more question I want to ask team. Can I ask this? I'm scared whenever I ask this. It's a test to myself, in fact. So we've done about 5 sessions. I wish I could go faster, but I just could not skip topics or go and explain something in a fast way to cover up time. Okay, so 40-50% votes in team. Just take, again, what your heart says is what you should put. And I can't see who's saying what. So I'll never have any kind of, what do you call, how do I say this? I'll never have any bias or favoritism. Even if you do tell it on my face, I won't. So kindly please put it on here. 80% votes in another 5 seconds. It's not a tricky question at all. It's just as is. It's for my feedback team. Because even elections, right, when you look at the Trump and Clinton or what happens in India or anywhere, it's tough to always get a big majority. It's very tough team. It's not easy. All right, 85% votes in. Can I close this, everyone? Can I share? What do you think, team? What do you think before I share the results? How many would have said yes? Just a percentage. 60, 70, 75, 80, 25, 90, 100. Okay. Wow, thank you. At least so many responses coming. There you go. You see it? 85% are yes, 14% are kinda. And I'm glad the 1% I'm getting out of here. But please, one request before you go, just write in a simple email to me and tell me why. Maybe there's something I can learn and improve, or a secret message. All right. All right. So this is good. Happy about it. I would actually, this is where team. How will I become 86% now? Next time, that one person who want to get out of here, get them into the yes. And maybe even the kinda, somewhere in between, get them up. So that's my target personally. Your target, learn things right and put it into execution. End of the day, this training is for certification team, AACT. But the next one is actual hardcore industry thing. And it's going to be amazingly interesting. You'll never ever imagine that core Java is so simple. And that's what we'll work on that. Thank you so much for participating in the polls. Really appreciate that. And we are almost towards the time. So what I said is I'm not interested in test cases or anything. But if you are finding an issue, just put it here. Just put it here. That's fine. All right. And then the team can work. Because I will show you the kind of effort the team is putting in. And then it should inspire you. Give me 1 second. Where did Saqib write this? Saqib and Sharon did some amazing work. So brilliant. I'm proud of the team. You inspire some of the individuals and you guide them, and I will learn from them eventually. Where is this? I'm seeing on a different screen, so give me a second. Hmm. This is what Sharon and team did. Smoke test. This is much more than a smoke test. There's one more. Alright, ready team? So it's to see what the team has been doing. Actual testing team. Look at this. First of all, visually brilliant. I like it. The colors. I like the way they're highlighting things. Every issues like this is on the actual Eniot application. Sign up, password field, P should be in uppercase. If they're not clear, there is a screenshot to it. And what is the page URL for that? Is there a priority to it? Yes. Who is the developer working on it? There you go. What is the status of it? Done. Is like done from the development side. Tester status closed. And comments. This is random testing. Then there's GUI testing. Alright. Then there are specific modules based. Each module, what is happening. And hundreds of test cases, scenarios. So nothing that happens out of development is ever smooth without the right testing. See, look at the screenshot. They just didn't take a screenshot. They marked this one in red and wrote, this is what I'm saying. Who cannot ever understand this? Is that not brilliant, team? This is where we need to get. And it is by the right guidance, direction, and that is where we'll get. And another one, I think this is the same one, I guess. Yeah, it's the same one. So, and where are we right now? Look at it. From here, we need to get here. All right. Can you imagine the amount of sweat and hard work it went into each and everything? And how they're doing it? And they've put failed, passed, everything is sorted. I never gave a template. They built it. And that is leadership. That is the creativity I'm looking at. These are the people that are working with me. And then we have a freelance team of about 15 people who are working across the globe for project experience. But then they were pre-selected. They're all coming from the JPAC program. So there's a lot happening in this world, team. If you have decided that your career goal and direction is this, I believe there are some good steps that you need to take. Okay, I think I'm good for today, team. I had to deviate from the topic because these are some things I've had to cover. But I hope I was not too fast ever, right? In the training. That was very important. I don't mind if I'm a little slow and we're taking a little longer because this is foundation, team. It has to be strong. Then we can build on it. How to get access for intro of default log sheet. I put it in the chat, that link. Just take that and go from it, please. I started learning Selenium last year on July. Took your $4 paid. I wanted to complete within 2 months. Then I realized I need to learn core Java programming within 2 months. I did burnout and quit. Now came back again. Yes, thank you for the comment. It's not an easy comment for me to really digest, but that's why you need to just follow the instructions. The day you do and try and reinvent the wheel and reinvent your own system, failures, you're going in a different track, team. Team, the notes that I'm creating, I'm not sharing yet. Once we complete this 7-day session, then I will. And looks like it's not going to be 7 days. I need one more day at least to complete it because there's a lot to cover up. In fact, and then we're doing 90-minute sessions instead of 1 hour session. Still, it's taking time, but I hope we are getting there. There were a lot of questions that came up on the JPACT and Selenium. Can I take that tomorrow, team? Or maybe in the orientation session, we planned for that anyway. Wow. Yes. Thank you, team. Thank you for reminding me that's my wife's birthday tomorrow. That's why there's no class tomorrow. No class, team. Happy wife is a happy life. That's some kind of a few quotes that I've learned in a good way in life. Manoj's email ID is manoj@itln.com. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Wish you the very best. Despite I don't really bother if you join the Selenium training or not. Of course, it's in my interest or JPAT. But then at least do one thing correctly in your certified training. Then you can think about the others. Take care. Have a good evening. Good day. God bless you all. Talk to you later. Day after. And I'll give you some content to watch. Thank you, everyone. Bye then. Thank you. Bye.